Am I the only one that's sick of like realistic Batman? I feel like we've had the character Batman. We just had obviously the Matt Reeves movie come out like 30 years ago. It feels like at this point, Batman 2 is finally coming out in when is it? 2028, guys. So it feels like we had the Matt Reeves Batman. Before that, we had fucking Ben Affleck's Batman. Let's pretend like that didn't exist. Then before that, we had, what's his name? The guy that made the Odyssey. What's the guy's name? John Holmes? No, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, that guy, man. His stock has dropped for me a little bit. The Odyssey, I'm not sure. But look, great director. A lot of great directors that have touched the character of Batman. Pause. That have touched the Batman. But I am sick and tired. I don't know if this is Christopher Nolan's fault. Why does everything Batman nowadays, especially the films, have to be so damn realistic? I mean, can we once, can we for once, you retard, not can we once, can we for once, get a non-realistic and a more fantastical take on Batman that doesn't involve making the Joker, guys, so for the Joker, he's going to be a thug with face tats, and he's going to have silver grills in his, what the fuck? Or can we not make... Guys, instead of the traditional Riddler, which Paul Dano would have looked great as a traditional Riddler, no, he's going to be the Zodiac Killer. Just do the Zodiac Killer then. I'm joking. I do like Matt Reeves' version of the Riddler, but like you would think eventually maybe he would turn into like the comic Riddler that we know and love. Even the Joker in that movie, in the spoiler alert deleted scene of that movie, is like all burnt and stuff, and it's like, guys, it's a realistic Joker where his skin is all like whatever. We'll see how he transforms, but it's like all of these characters, do they all have to be realistic? Do the Batman suits have to get more and more realistic every single time we see them? Because that seems like it's the case. The villains, the characters, the storylines. When, if ever, are we going to get a fantastical Batman again? The reason, look, I love Matt Reeves as the Batman, and I'm excited for Batman 2 more than any film coming up, maybe except Ghost Rider, which was just announced, by the way. Let's fucking go. But it's like, do we really? Do we seriously need to constantly see Batman? Well, this time his logo looks a little less Batman-like, but it's made out of this. This time the suit is fully metal. This time his ears are a little bit smaller. This time his villain actually isn't called the Riddler. His name is the Riddle. It's just like everything has to be changed. Even Oswald Cobblepot, whatever the fuck his name is, was changed to Oz Cobb, I believe. Oz Cobb instead of Oswald Cobblepot. I can't say his last name. Cobblepot. Bubblebutt. But it's like this realistic take on every single character, even though we just had an entire trilogy of multiple realistic versions of, look, the fact that like a random like commercial, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this commercial. It was like a Batman commercial and it had the Joker in it. And that was the best, like, most comic accurate Joker we've ever seen, and it was for like a random, like, I forgot, what was it, State Farm or some random ass commercial. And it's like, does it really take for us to see the most comic accurate Joker we've ever seen? And it looks great. Like, it doesn't look goofy, it doesn't look silly, it looks great. Does it really take for us to see that in a fucking random commercial for us to get that? Because I guarantee you, Matt Reeves, with the Batman 2, guys, the villain of this movie is, I don't know who's it going to be, Two-Face. And this time with Two-Face, only like his eye area is going to be burnt or something. I guarantee you with Two-Face, if he's the main villain of the Batman 2, it's just going to be some bullshit. Like, oh, well, only his eye is missing or something. It's just going to be some soft version of like, of Two-Face. It just feels like every time we get a new Batman film, they have to go more realistic and more realistic and more realistic until what? His name is just Man? And I know people are saying, no, Batman, he can be grounded and he shouldn't be that much he shouldn't be that fantastical, but it's like, there's so many great characters that we're probably not going to get, or we're going to get watered down versions of, because Matt Reeves and probably future Batman directors, we'll see, have this obsession with making him so realistic. I mean, Christopher Nolan was another one where it's like, you get all this money, you get to make a Batman trilogy, yet, we get to see his realistic take on Batman. I want to see Batman. I don't want to see your take on Batman or your realistic take on Batman. I want to see the take on Batman, whatever that means. You know what I'm trying to say, though? You know, it's like, with Spider-Man, there's not this issue. Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2 felt like Dr. Octopus. Green Goblin, even though the suit wasn't that comic accurate, felt like Green Goblin. These characters felt like, even in Spider-Man, fucking, what was the Homecoming or No Way Home, one of the fucking Spider-Man films with Tom Holland. Mysterio felt like Mysterio. These characters typically, when it comes to the MCU, Red Skull looked and felt like Red Skull even. Captain America early on before they kind of modernized the suit a little bit. And I don't like that the MCU kind of modernizes a lot of the suits, but the MCU is not afraid of fantastical characters because it's objectively a fantastical thing. Same with Batman. Batman is an objectively fantastical character. You could say, no, dude, Batman should be grounded. No, he should not. His whole premise is that he's a man dressed like a giant bat. That is objectively fantastical, whether you like it or not. It's silly as fuck, dude. His villains are guys, a guy called the Penguin, a guy called the Joker. Like if you want to simplify, his villains are a giant clown, or not a giant clown, but a clown. A criminal clown, a criminal penguin, or he's not really a penguin, but he kind of like looks like a penguin, or he walks like a penguin. You kind of get it. You got like a guy called the Riddler. Like, you understand my point. His characters are meant to be fantastical, yet they have this obsession with like making his character so realistic and making him so realistic to where I'm worried, like, are we ever going to get a close to comic accurate version of the Batman in my fucking lifetime? Honestly, it's ridiculous. I just had to sit through 3 fucking Nolan movies. I didn't just have to sit through it. This was years ago, but you know what I mean. We had to sit through 3 realistic takes on Batman, 3 movies with realistic takes on Batman, and then it's like Ben Affleck's Batman was like, doesn't even fucking count. We barely got it. And even then, he was killing people in that movie, so it's like, yeah, great. We get Ben Affleck's Batman, and he's a murderer. And he's sharing screen time with Superman in his first ever movie in this universe. But people want Zack Snyder back, by the way. There's real people that think Zack Snyder would save the DCU. He would probably ruin it even more, by the way. Let me just say that. And then it's like, now we're getting Matt Reeves' movies, and it's probably going to be a trilogy as well. We'll see. I don't even know if we'll make it to the 3rd fucking film by the time the 2nd one comes out. But now we got his version of Batman, and it's even more realistic, and the suits are more realistic, and I love the Batman. I think it's a great film. It's one of the best comic book films probably ever. But can we have a Mr. Freeze? Can we have a Poison Ivy? Can we have a Clayface? Can we have a Ra's al Ghul? Or Ra's al Ghul, or I think it's Ra's al Ghul. I think it's Ra's al Ghul. Can we have any of these can we have a Joker that looks like the Joker and not, well, it's a white guy with face paint and green fucking hair dye? It's like, no, I want the Joker. I want a guy who looks and laughs and acts and has the suit and the face and the face paint and the skin and the hair and everything and the height. Joker's a tall, slender guy of the Joker. I don't want your version of the Joker where he's like, well, he kind of has a little bit of face paint, but his hair's not green, it's black actually, and he only wears this color suits. Well, he doesn't really wear suits though. And or Jared Leto's Joker where he has like grills like he's a black rapper and stuff like that, and he has face tats like he's some like 2016 SoundCloud rapper. Or what about this version of the Joker where it's just the Joker and it's not connected to shit and it's Joaquin Phoenix? And no, I want that. Is it really that hard? And so, yeah, I guess that's my video, my little ramble rant on like this sort of, I'm just sick of like the non-fantastical Batman characters. Batman himself, these Batman characters, I'm really nervous for Batman, or the Batman, or what is it called? Batman the Brave and the Bold, or the Batman the Brave. You know what I'm trying to say? That movie that's apparently coming out, even though there's no updates on it, but allegedly I guess it's coming out, directed by, is it Andy Serkis? Or no, it's not him. It's Andy Muschietti, some guy, some white guy is directing it, some fucking guy, some chud is directing it. I'm nervous about that film. I think that I would understand if that version of Batman, the James Gunn version of Batman that's in the DCU, which so stupid that we're going to have 2 separate Batmans, but it is what it is. I would understand if that's a fantastical Batman. I would be fucking ecstatic. But can you imagine if not only is Matt Reeves' Batman realistic, but the James Gunn version of Batman is realistic? I would literally blow my brain smooth off the fucking map. So I don't know. Whoever's doing Batman media, specifically movies and shows, because the games, they have it going, right? The Batman games are pretty good, even though there's no games coming out on the horizon, but still. In terms of the Batman movies and potential shows, I don't want Matt Reeves' version of Tony Soprano, but he's the Penguin. Or, Matt Reeves' version of oh, it's the Zodiac Killer, but his name is the Riddler, but he acts and looks nothing like the Riddler. Well, he kind of acts like the Riddler, but looks nothing like him. But it's kind of dumb. Like, when you think about it, like, I love that movie, but when you think about it, you had a character like the Riddler and basically just made him a serial killer, basically. And yes, they did incorporate the riddles and stuff like that, and it worked. But it would have been cool maybe in the last half of the movie, or the big fight scene, or blah blah blah, whatever the case is. Even though he was already in jail, spoiler alert, so I don't know how that would have worked. But you get my point. Like, it would have been maybe cool at some point to see him in his Riddler costume. You could say it's goofy, but like, the main character of these fucking movies is a guy dressed like a bat. So this is an objectively goofy universe. So that's the video. Yes, grown man ranting about Batman, but that's what we do here on this fucking I'm a homosexual. That's the video. Like, comment, share, sub, become a member down below. Love you, boy. Or no memberships. I said become a member down below, but there's no memberships yet. So just like the video, please subscribe, comment, share it with your chud friends. God bless you, boys. Christ is King. America, brother. Batman and Batman directors, get it to fucking together, or I'm gonna stop gooning. What? Anyways, peace.